Hello guys, this is me Simu Orahara, and in this video I'll be talking about Yhwach's full plan and how side by side with Hashvald they made a 1000 years old plan to become more powerful than before and achieve his great goal, which is to make a real world with no fear. And fear inside Yhwach's dictionary is death, and we will be talking about this in detail in a little bit. If you remember, I have already said in the video of Young Yamamoto vs Yhwach that I will be making a second part completing my talk about the war that happened 1000 years ago, and exactly the point where we wonder if Yhwach used the Almighty in his battle against Yamaji or not. So in that video I made it clear, based on my point of view, that I go more with the theory that Yhwach didn't use that power against Yamaji, and I asked a question: if he didn't use it, then why wouldn't he do that? And the answer to that is in this video, of course. And as I always say, what I'm sharing with you guys is my personal opinion that is based on manga evidences. It's not like what I'm saying is true, but is my own analysis of the few informations that Kobo revealed about this subject. So guys, let's start talking about Yhwach's full plan and the reason why he didn't use the Almighty in his fight against Yamaji 1000 years ago. First, I should be asking, what's Yhwach's goal? Yhwach's goal was peace. It was the first thing Yhwach talked about when he first appeared. Of course, Yhwach's perspective of peace was different, and Kobo made a poster about it in volume 55 that describes precisely Yhwach's definition of peace: a bloody peace it is. And generally peace, whether it's the non-war peace or the absence of a conflict in a family, is kind of peace. That peace always carries a feeling of security and safety instead of fear. It's like he's saying, if there is no safety, then automatically there will be no actual peace as well. That's why Yhwach was aspiring to build a real world with his own vision, a world where soul society, human world, and we commando unite and become one world with no fear. And the idea of having a world that combines the three worlds wasn't made up for nothing by Yhwach. It actually existed before, and based on the novel, Ichibi said that the three worlds we know used to be one world before the ancestors of the 5 great noble families interfere and make Ryo to divide the original world into 3 worlds and separate life from death. So who knows, maybe Yhwach wanted to bring back the world his father Ryo lived in. And so whether Yhwach's desire is to bring back the original world or to make a new one based on his own preferences, we don't know exactly if this idea came up to Yhwach when he was young or at certain phase of his mysterious life. But overall, this huge goal needs a plan, and before all of that, a big brain, because the road isn't covered with flowers. For Yhwach to unite the 3 worlds, he needs to take Ryo down, and to take Ryo down, he needs to take down everyone protecting him, and those are the Shinigami, whether it's the ones that exist in the Surety, which are the Guji 13, and after that, he needs to fight the ones that protect the king himself, whether it's the Zero Squad or the ones who were protecting the king millions of years ago. Anyway, for us, we'll only consider the 200 years where Yhwach appeared in Busby and Hashvald flashback, which is before the first war between Yhwach and Yamaji. And as we said, there is no doubt that Yhwach already knows the difficulties he will be facing to achieve his goal. That's why the first thing he did was forming an army to fight with. So first he tightened his grip on the lands where the Quincy existed in the real world, and after that he decided to form a new army, which are the first version of the Sternreiter, to attack the Soul Society. But at the same time, Yhwach was looking for someone, and this is where the real fun begins. He was looking for Hashvald, the miracle kid, that no other kid with his ability to share the power with was born in the last 200 years. When Yhwach found Hashvald for the first time, he said that he has been looking for him for a long time, and that he knows his full name. He also knows that Hashvald isn't aware yet of the power he owns, and Yhwach recognized Hashvald by the power of the Almighty that was active at that time, meaning he saw in the future that there will be a newborn with this ability and that his name will be Yogram Hashvald. And remember this very well, guys. And before even explaining to Hashvald why Yhwach chose him, he made him his advisor. And just imagine with me that Yhwach making a kid he just met his own advisor. Why would Yhwach make such step? Simply because he knows what he's doing. We know that Yhwach can see the future, but we don't know how much of it he can see, and we can't know for sure that his Almighty was as strong as the one he used against Ichibi, like he could see the abilities and power and make it on his side, or more in the level of actually being able to change the future and rewrite it when he observes Ryu on the right hand. We don't have any evidence of how strong it was back then. What is sure and appeared in that flashback is that Yhwach is able to see the upcoming events, whether clearly or blurry, or sees them as a visions. On the other hand, as we saw, Yhwach can share the Almighty with Hashvald while he is sleeping at night, and as Hashvald said, his controlling over the Almighty is not the same as Yhwach, but at least he can activate its main power, which is seeing the future. And for that, and back again to the flashback, there is no doubt that when Yhwach made Hashvald his right hand, he was teaching him the technique of exchanging powers between the two of them. So whether Yhwach shared the Almighty back then or not, for as long as Yhwach saw himself meeting Hashvald, wouldn't he be able to see the other coming events? The answer is yes. That's why what I think happened is this. So Yhwach saw that he will be losing that battle that will take place in Soul Society against Yamaji, and because Hashvald is basically Yhwach's partner, also saw that they will be losing that battle. For that, instead of getting ready for a battle that they will be losing, they were planning to actually make that defeat happen and use it in their favor for later. You guys will be asking me how. The answer, as you know, the first Gochi led by Yamaji defeated Yhwach and his army and killed most of them. But notice what Yhwach said in the chapter 511. He said the Soul Society is about to die, but the Gochi 13 died with us 1,000 years ago, which means Yhwach doesn't appreciate any other Gochi other than the first one. So did my idea get to you guys? The defeat that Yhwach saw in the future that he will be losing against Yamaji, Yhwach used it instead of avoiding it to hide his actual plan and remove the power of the first Gochi from his way by making Yamaji and his followers believe that Yhwach is gone, because the real comeback of Yhwach and his plan will take place in 1,000 years. 1,000 years? How? Here we go back to the Kaiser Gizan that all the Quincy knew about. What does this chant say? The king that was sealed 900 years ago got his heartbeat back after 90 years and his power after 9 years, and this part is known by so many of the Quincy, but the last part of that chant seemed like only Yhwach knew about it, or let's say a few of who were with him. It's the part that says he got back the world in 9 days. So this means that Yhwach knew he was getting back the world after 1,000 years, or let's say he knew he will be the actual king but after 1,000 years. You will tell me that if he knew that he will be losing that battle against Yamaji, why didn't he avoid it and defeat them, since he knew how he will be defeated already? That's why he can climb to the Royal Palace and do the same thing with the Zero Squad and kill the king and not bother waiting 1,000 years to achieve that. Good question. But what I think is that Yhwach had many reasons that made him choose getting defeated and wait for 1,000 years. Like I first said, after 1,000 years the Gochi won't be the same anymore. It will become weaker. That's exactly what happened and what we saw. Secondly, he gets a more powerful army than the ones he had before. An army of the strongest Sternreiter with script abilities. And that's what we witnessed with the Elite Guard. And they were the ones who defeated the Zero Squad. Also the Van der Reich, during that 1,000 years, they made a strong inventions that will help them to win the round 2. And one of this invention is the medal. We notice how it was the main reason of defeating Yamaji by stealing his Bankai, which probably was the reason for Yhwach's defeat 1,000 years ago. And now getting rid of him will be easy and possible, and that's what happened. Finally, there is the biggest reason why Yhwach waited for that much time. It's the birth of Ichigo Kurosaki. Like he saw in the future that a kid named Hashvald will be born, it's most likely that he also predicted the birth of another kid that will be born in the darkness. Maybe the darkness that Yhwach meant is the darkness of the Shinigami for his father being one. But wait, we know that Yhwach waited for Hashvald to make him his advisor and his right hand because they have similar power. So what's Ichigo's role in all of this? Ichigo's role is what Yhwach said in these pages. where Yhwach talked about how Ichigo's birth and all the battles he had before were for the specific events to cut Ryu, because it seemed like Ichigo was the only one able to kill and cut Ryu, not even Yhwach. We have seen how the right hand of the king escaped the ability of Yhwach's almighty, which he didn't see coming. For that, maybe Yhwach wasn't able to kill Ryu in the first place, or let's say he might be able to kill him but not as desired or as Ichigo did, especially that Ichigo and Ryu share a lot of common points. Ichigo is a Shinigami and human and Quincy and has the full bring power, and these things Ryu has them all, so it's likely that Ichigo is the only one who could really kill Ryu. And whether Yhwach is able to do that or not, his words were clear that all the battles Ichigo had were for Yhwach's favor, to end up killing Ryu. That's why, and as you have seen, Yhwach's plan happened very fast and smoothly because he planned it for 1000 years. First by searching for Hashvald, and maybe before that he found Pernida, the left hand, and made her join him, and he made the Sternreiter army the first copy, and on the lights of what they saw, they planned that Yhwach will get sailed after the defeat while Hashvald and the others hide in the shadows of the city. So Hashvald knew exactly what he will be doing during those 1000 years, because of what he planned with Yhwach before the war. All he had to do was to follow the instructions and search for more Sternreiter to receive Schrift when Yhwach wakes up, and develop the Volt Standing to a new more powerful one, and invent the middle, and finally wait for the right opportunity to declare war after Ichigo grow ups and have several battles, and the latest of them were against Aizen and Ginjo. And if you notice, when Yhwach came back after 1000 years ago, he reaches all his goals. He killed Yamaji and destroyed the Soul Society, and after that he climbed to the Royal Palace and defeated the Zero Squad and made Ichigo cut Ryu, and then observed him with the right hand and become close to creating the world he wanted. But I think the weakness of Yhwach's plan is a side that Kobo didn't focus on in the story, and I'm here talking about Ishida's family, the family that was the direct reason of Yhwach's defeating. Although the bad writing of Yhwach's defeat, especially regarding that arrow that has been sent by Yuryu, if we go back before that scene, we will find that while Yhwach was planning to get back the world he wanted, Ishida's family were getting ready to stop him, and starting by the grandfather Soken by telling his son the arrow theory, and the failed experiment by the son Ryuken, and in the last the application and the activation by the grandson Yuryu. And as long as Kobo didn't reveal the secret behind the survival of Yuryu from the Aufswehren, we won't really understand the reason behind Yhwach making Yuryu his successor, if it was a part of the plan or not. We don't know that, and as a matter of fact guys, my talk won't stop here. There will be a third part coming. We will focus on Ishida's family, and especially the grandfather Soken. This last one is the one I consider the most mysterious and aware of the secrets of the Van Reich. So in conclusion guys, whether all I have said happened or some of it happened or didn't happen at all, I highly doubt that Hashvald improvised all what happened during that 1000 years and with no previous plan along with Yhwach. So guys, this is the end of my video. Tell me about your theories about the planning of Yhwach, and do you agree with me or not, and see you in my next video.